Ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. They told me they like it when I get cocky. You cannot stop me.
You are now tuned into the Dads Who Live podcast. You have your host, Tyler Gaeta, and I have with me, co-host,
Jonathan Baumgartner.
All right, guys, housekeeping. We do this shit for free. We do not charge you anything. We spread a lot of value. All we want to do is add value to you. So if we add a value in any way, give you a perspective change, give you a laugh, anything, please tell a friend. That's how we grow this thing. I don't want to run ads. I don't want to have ads in this. So tell a friend, they tell a friend, they tell a friend. That's how we grow it. Like I said in the last podcast, we've had over 12,000 downloads, and that's actually just recently because we haven't even been on Libsyn for a year. So that's less than a year. So that's not even total downloads of what we've had in the podcast. We've been doing this podcast for years. That's just within less than a year. 12,000 downloads. We have hundreds of listens per fucking episode. That tells me you guys are not doing your part. You guys are not helping us out. Our part is we're here investing our time and our money to give you free value. Your part is please just tell somebody. That's it. That's it, guys. Tell somebody. Pass it on. Share it on Spotify. Share it on, iTunes. Share it on Instagram. Share it on Facebook. Share it on YouTube. Whatever the fuck it is, just share it. I want to see a lot more shares and DM me or tag me in this shit. Share it and tag me, and I'll reshare your story. We are looking for a media director. We are sad to say that Laurel is moving back to South Dakota. So anybody that knows media, knows social media content, or knows of anybody in the Omaha, Nebraska area or surrounding area, have them DM me. It's TMG. What is my shit? TMG. Oh, fuck. I'll have to look. I don't even remember my own Instagram. Anyways, we are on, so we have badass apparel, shirts, hats, beanies, all kinds of dope shit. www.dadswholiftapparel.com. We're on IG as Dads Who Lift Apparel. We're on Facebook as Dads Who Lift Apparel. And then we have a Facebook group. Again, that is a group on Facebook of 55,000 like-minded dads trying to be the best selves and stay fit. If that interests you, check that group out. It's called Dads Who Lift Official. My personal Instagram is TylerGaeta_DWL. TylerGaeta_DWL. I might change that to official at the end. I'm not sure. I don't want it to be too long. Anyways, guys, get the message out. Please tell a friend. That's all that we ask. So, last week we aired a fire episode about what makes you a good parent. What I want to talk about today is happiness in life. And I think that we touched on one key part to happiness in life last week in the last week's episode. If you guys didn't catch that one, make sure to go back and listen to it. But when I think of, so we're here to be fucking happy, guys. Like, we're here to enjoy this life. That doesn't mean that every day is going to be fucking, rainbows out your ass. But that means that every day there's happiness. And what I think of when I think of my happiness through my struggles, enjoying the process, but I'll get into that later. But the whole point is that we're here to be happy. And I feel that my God and my creator wants me to be happy. He didn't create me to have a bad experience. He created me to be happy and to have a good experience in this life. And so that should be what we're aiming for, guys. And again, doesn't mean that every day is going to be fucking rainbows out your asshole. But happiness, right? Enjoying the process, enjoying life is a big thing. And when I think about what makes me happy and what creates happiness in my life today, and really what has created happiness that I've never had before in my life, that I've just recently, within the last few years, come into really understanding and really perfecting and mastering in my life. And we touched on it in last week's podcast. And what it really comes down to for me is control in my life. When I am able to control my life 100%, control my destiny 100%, and be free, like we talked about in last week's episode, I'm happy. It's not all about the money. I've said it in probably every fucking podcast, but I also do fucking love money. And there's nothing wrong with that as well, because with money comes freedom. With money comes control. They go hand in hand. You don't have, freedom and control of your life without having wealth. I guess you could argue and say that maybe there's a few different lifestyles that you could, but
Depends on the lifestyle.
Yeah, for the majority of people and the majority of what we want, with money comes freedom, with wealth comes freedom, comes happiness, comes control. And I've said a couple things that really stick with me in previous podcasts. And, you know, one of them is control yourself or somebody else will control you. Make rules for yourself or somebody else will make rules for you. And basically, like, you shape your world or your world's going to shape you. And those are all big things that have to do with happiness for me and control and freedom in my life. And so if I am 100%, God, this stuff gets really technical, guys. But when I think about life, I have a creator, and my creator has created me to experience life, and my creator gave me free will. So my creator wants me to have the will to turn this life into whatever I desire, right? And I do believe that we are bred with desires because God is inside us. God is in us. Life is God. God is in us. We are life. And so I believe that my desires are God's desires. Like, my burning desires are God's desires, and they're put in me from him. But I still have the choice. I still have the free will on what I want to do. And so when I realized that, hey, I was given this fucking amazing gift, right? I'm not here to be punished. I'm not here to be, reprimanded. I'm not here to be told what I need to do. I'm here to live this life and experience this life and grow and learn lessons and figure out who I am. And the biggest part there is grow and learn lessons, figure out who I am. And then not only that, but give back and love, right? Because love is God as well. I truly believe love is God. Right. And so when I am able to look at my life and say, okay, I was given this gift and I am the creator of my life, right? Like, I'm not really the creator of my life. I was given this life by my creator, but he allows me to create within my own life, my life that he's given me. Right. So, I was gifted this great gift. And then my creator that gifted me this says, hey, go make it whatever you want it to be. And I am able to then create my own life and control and shape my own destiny. Now, 99.9% of you listening to this, 99.9% of the population don't fucking understand this. And they think that life just happens. And life happens to you, and life happens for you, and you know, there's luck and fucking shit, and like, oh man, this happened because I got a bad day, or like, man, I got bad luck, so this shit always happens. That's fucking bullshit. It's not true. It's not real. Everything in your life is created by you. Everything in your life is created by your thoughts. Everything in life, thoughts turn into things, right? Every single thing is manifested through your thoughts and your feelings into physical things in your life, and you create your life 100%. When you can realize this and say, okay, I'm the creator of my life. Now, this goes into what you were talking about on last week's podcast. Now I wake up every day and my life is shaped around I am in control. My life is shaped around what I want it to be and what I want to do and what my passion is. Now, this doesn't mean that you sit on the couch every day and eat fucking potato chips. But what this means is like, okay, my passion is to shoot this podcast. My passion is to help people. My passion is to coach people. My passion is to motivate people, right? If I create a life where I wake up every fucking day and I still bust my ass and I still grind, but I wake up every fucking day and I can do whatever I want. I have the freedom to do whatever I want because I'm financially free. Right? So I can make my own rules. I can make my own times. I can schedule my own meetings. I can tell somebody, hey, that day doesn't work for me. How about this day? I can make my own schedule. And then I'm able to go out there and give my gift and live to my passion and my desire that's put inside me. I'm fucking free. And I'm 100% in control of my life. And I 100% shape my life into whatever the fuck I want it to be. And to me, that's fucking happiness. And to me, that's a happiness that I never knew until a few years ago. And I wish that I would have known this shit as a child. This is like we talked about in last episode too. This is growing up unlimited, right? Right. I wish I would have known these things. I wish I would have known that, hey son, you are 100% the creator of your own fucking life. And whatever the fuck, you're not a fucking victim. And whatever the fuck you do is going to shape your life. Whatever the fuck you think is going to shape your fucking life, right? That's happiness. That's happiness. Now, I'm not happy every fucking day, like every second. Let me rephrase that. I'm not happy every second of every fucking day, right? I still have a lot of fucking struggle. Yesterday, Laurel telling me that she's moving gave me a lot of fucking anxiety and fear, right? Because it's like, okay, we finally got shit going again. Here's another obstacle, right? Here's another obstacle. Here's another obstacle. And there's always going to be fucking obstacles, right? But what I find is that I enjoy the process. I live in the process, right? So even though there's a struggle, I know, and I'm able to tell myself now, hey, motherfucker, you're uncomfortable right now. That's okay. That means you're growing, right? You're going to come out on this on top. I'm able to talk myself off that hill. I'm able to talk myself off that cliff. I'm able to talk myself off that mountain and say, hey, when you had to let Josh go, you found Laurel, right? Like when Laurel decides to go on another direction and we hope her nothing but the best, somebody else will come as well, right? Because they always have. I've never not had a position filled. I've never not had these things work out, right? And these are things that I manifest and that I do and that I create in my own life. And it's just fucking wild to me, man, that most people do not live this and do not know this true happiness. So it's not that every single day is fucking rainbows and butterflies out my butthole. It's that I enjoy the process, and even when it's bad, I know that it's going to be okay, and I know that this is where grit and strength, this is where real men are made. This is what's shaping me into who I am. This is what's creating my mental toughness and making me better, which is a big purpose of what the fuck we're here for. And I'm able to get through that. And then guess what? When I proceed and I don't let fear fucking control me, and I persist and I win, then I feel good. Then I get that top of the fucking, that cloud 9 pink cloud fucking great feeling, that reward. Right. And it happens over and over. Life's like a roller coaster. There's always going to be ups and downs. You're never going to be all the way up. Right. So just know that, because, let the fucking lows shape you. Let the lows mold you. Let the lows grow you. Let the lows harden you. And then when you get to those peaks and those tops, ride that motherfucker out. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Enjoy those wins. And then guess what? Keep fucking going, because it's coming down again. So this is true happiness to me. True happiness to me is living your fucking passion, knowing what you want out of life, and fucking making that shit happen no matter what. No exceptions, no compromise. That's true happiness.
I think it's a tough subject. I like that you have clearly defined your purpose, and you can tell that there's passion behind that, and that's what brings you happiness, is being able to fulfill your purpose every single day, or working towards that. Because not every day you're working, you're growing, you're building, you're doing these things, moving towards that. I'm a nerd, so I like the technical definition of things. Happiness is in psychology, it's a state of emotional well-being. So psychologically, it's an emotional state. So we can control our emotions. We've talked about this 100 other times. Either your emotions can control you, or you need to learn to control your emotions. So I've touched on this, and this is a practical application for anybody. I'm a very optimistic person. I've made it a priority. I've made it a goal of mine in every negative situation, every situation that brings me anxiety, any negative feeling, fear, overwhelmed, any negative sensation. I recognize that I have that negative feeling. I stop, intentionally pull out the positive in that situation, because not everything's great. There's a lot of lows equal to the highs. So in those lows, I've learned to still pull out the positive in every situation, because we don't take losses. We're not losing, we're learning. So for me, you talked about the victim mentality. I think it's our responsibility. And I tell this to my girlfriend, even in our relationship, it's my responsibility to make myself happy. It's every person in the world's job, responsibility as a human, to make yourself happy. Do not depend on anybody else to create happiness for you, because it's an internal thing. Happiness is completely controlled internally. We have external factors that you can go and do something to make you happy. You can go and experience something to bring you joy. You can have these pastime activities or these hobbies or things that you love to do that will bring you happiness. And we've learned that through conditioning, and experiences of doing that. But even deeper than that, in a bad situation where you're not happy, you can still, again, with mental control, pick out a positive. I challenge you. In the worst of worst situations, you can find one positive. To me, that's what makes happiness. That's what brings me happiness on a consistent, even basis. Before, I used to have a lot of ups and downs with happiness. hell yeah, I'm killing it at work. Everything's good. And all of a sudden I go home, something's not good at home. Because again, in every area of your life, you're not going to be happy in your relationships or at work. Now, perfectly, you would have everything line up and be happy
Right.
and all those things, but
It's unfeasible
it's
24/7.
unfeasible. So having that reality and knowing that practical solution of what I discovered for myself and to continually have a more consistent, even keel of happiness. And I believe this from my God, my creator, who created us out of love, the single most powerful thing in the entire existence that we know of. It's all internal. It's all internal. You have to figure out what fills you up, what brings you joy, and intentionally choose, even when you're not happy in certain moments, to go back to being happy. It's a choice. Hey, man, this fucking pissed me off. But here's the one positive. Okay, cool. I just shifted. I truly, we talked about vibrations. We talked about synchronicities. You know, you can choose to change your negative vibrations and unhappiness and divert them back to being happy.
Happiness is a perception.
120%.
It's perception.
It's a perception of where you're at in every
any
moment.
situation that you're in. You can look at yourself and you can have thoughts. So thoughts control our feelings, right?
Right.
So you can look at yourself and you can have thoughts of good thoughts of happy that will bring happiness about a situation, or thoughts of fear that'll bring fear of a situation, or thoughts of negative thoughts, you know, anger, whatever, that's going to bring sadness on a situation, make you angry. So it's truly about how you see it. And I think that's what I hear you saying the most. And that is a big thing that you do, that I've been trying to do lately that I'm not good at. And I'm not good at finding the good in every single thing. I'm good at just fucking muzzling through it. I'm good at just pushing through it and knowing that it's going to be okay. I'm good at just enjoying the process, which is good too. But it is a lot better if you can just sit back and say, okay, what's something good that could come out of this, right? What's a benefit of this?
Right.
And you're really good at doing that. And when you're able to do that and you can sit there, you know, you've told me like, hey dude, I'll sit on the couch as long as I need to. I might sit there for 30 minutes till I figure out to find a positive. I might stew in that shit and that bullshit for 30 minutes till I find a positive. But guess what? Once I find that positive, my perception's changed. So it's all about perception.
It's so important for me to not walk away from a negative situation or experience and leave it unchecked. It's like a building block or a wedge of negative shit that if you go unchecked, oh, it's just one little thing, you put it off, you pass it off, not a big deal. Well, it's still there in your subconscious. You never addressed it. You didn't solve it. You didn't find the positive. And pretty soon, that's when people blow up. It's a lot of little, and we talked about this just the other day in a meeting with employees and stuff. It's a lot of little shit that builds up over time when people explode. It's not usually one incident of, oh, you know, I'm so pissed off. It's usually a lot of little things that didn't go addressed, or people didn't find a positive to counterbalance the negative. And pretty soon you just got a backpack full of negative shit that you didn't take the time to find a positive in the situation. I truly believe like you have to walk away from every situation, giving it the time needed to find that positive. It's just a perception, like you said, of, and it takes me sometimes, even like, and I think mostly in like a disagreement or something in a relationship, I will sit there for 30 minutes like, I'm so fucking pissed off. I'm not even happy with you right now. But I know if I let that go, that'll be in the back of my mind tomorrow. And I may start looking for another excuse or something else negative to justify me feeling this way continually. Right. And then it goes on and on and on. I justify that. I'm right for feeling, pissed off and angry at this person for that or for this situation. And it builds from there. If I don't let that shit build, it's easier to, maintain that even keel of having happiness. I also think being content is a poison. And we talked about when you first started talking, there's different types of happiness. Some people are just content with the bare minimum, hey, I did just enough. I did just enough to get through the day. I did just enough to, not get criticized or to get in trouble at work. I think that's definitely a disease and a cop-out from taking responsibility and just settling to have an easy, comfortable life instead of facing the shit and the challenges to create your happiness.
Right. A nugget I'll give you guys here is like, you will never know true happiness in life until you find your purpose.
Fact.
You'll never know happiness until you find your purpose. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Your purpose is to grow and help people. That's it. There's different facets of that. Like you can put your own spin on any one that you want, but your purpose, what we're here for, what God puts us here is to grow, learn lessons, experience this beautiful life, and to help people and give love. That's it. So whatever your avenue to do those two things is, that's your own little spin and your gift, and that's what you do. But that's the gist of it. That's why we're here.
100%.
Right. That's your purpose. That's all of our purposes. And once you can figure that out and figure out what your own little spin is on it and what you want to do and how you grow and how you add value to other people, because it's not about taking, guys. We're not takers. It's not about how much you can take from somebody. It's about how much value you can add to somebody. And when you add value to somebody, you will gain just as much value back to yourself. Okay. So I think we'll leave 100%. It at that. This has been the Dads Who Live podcast. Again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Pay the fucking fee. Tell a friend. They tell a friend. They tell a friend. Share it on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, IG, whatever, guys. We need you to spread this shit. We're getting hundreds of views a week. It's not spreading like it should with hundreds of listens a week with 12,000 downloads. Plus, we need your guys' help. Please do your part. Please spread this stuff.
Like and share.
Tag me in the shit and I'll reshare it. I love it. Tag me. If you share it, tag me. I'll reshare it. I love that shit. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's been the Dads Who Live podcast. Again, we have apparel on www.dadswhoLivedApparel.com. We're on IG as Dads Who Lived Apparel. Facebook is Dads Who Lived Apparel. We have a Facebook group of 55,000 like-minded dads trying to be the best selves and stay fit. That group is called Dads Who Lift Official. Yeah, that's I don't really have a good ending for this one. That's it.
That's it.
Go out there and fucking be happy. Enjoy the process. Create your own happiness. Watch your perception. That's what this life is for, man. Life is what you make it. Make it a good one.
They told me that like when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. Try to be me.